What's up, y'all? Epizara here, back at you once again in another video. I hope all is well with you today. In this video, let's discuss how you keep your enemies guessing and stressing. In your mind, you may just have some people you don't deal with anymore due to some shady stuff they may have done to you. It's just people you don't associate with anymore. But to these people, they have made you their full-blown enemy in their minds. And deep in their hearts, too. They already have their minds made up. So they watch you, and they're always on edge because of you. They are on extra high alert, extra high, for anything that has to do with you. These people mind your business more than they mind their own business. You're very mysterious to them and unpredictable. It's keeping them on their toes all the time. They just never know what to expect from you. All they know is they want to see it because you live your life against the status quo. You live your life against the grain, against the matrix, against the trends, because you make the trends, but they don't like that. They even envy you for it. Some people, they're watching you and they still can't figure you out. They still can't figure out what you're about to do next. This is stressful for them. It's very stressful. They stay stressing and guessing because they can't come between whatever you're doing and try to mess it up. They can't mess up what they don't know about. You just leave them to wonder. Their mind is always all over the place because of you. Some of them wanted you to live in fear and be afraid of them. But things are shifting. Now, many of them are starting to be afraid of you. Much of that is because none of the nonsense they tried against you worked. So now they think you're just some kind of superhuman or something, and it's spooking them out. But the real truth of the matter is, you're just chosen by God, so you have a different level of protection.
Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakodash. Hey, much mercy to you sincere brothers out there, the true house of David, all you brothers that have been redeemed, that understand this covenant, and all you brothers that are trying to receive this covenant and understand it more. Much mercy to you. May you continue to grow in the grace. Shalom to all you brothers, man. Even for our haters that watch us, you know, even to you guys out there too, man. You see, the Lord said, love your enemies, and we show love by giving you the truth. We don't, because that's one thing that guys don't understand. If you're teaching false doctrine, right, and if you're teaching Moses, that's not love, okay? All you guys that are stuck on Moses, man, you don't understand. Them scribes and them Pharisees that was in the spirit that was teaching Moses, and you're not following the Lord. You're not following Yahweh Shai teaching men the whole old carnal Passovers. You're not following the Lord doing that. You're holding men to the old. Yahweh Shai has nothing to do with old Passovers or new moons. Isaiah, way back in Isaiah, it said his soul hates that shit. So guys, these camps are totally bugged out because they're teaching you to hold the old covenant, saying that they're under the Lord. You got guys in the new covenant, and I'm gonna have to say it like this. They're trying to hold you to Moses. They don't understand that old law is done. You don't fulfill the old law. Well, who fulfilled the law was the Lord, because he did what we couldn't do. So the Lord fulfilled that law. I've already brought that out. But a lot of you guys are of the flesh. And that shit that you guys are doing, trying to hold men to Moses any fucking type of way, it's not going to work. And I'm going to say this for the record, man. Certain of you guys that's trying to teach Moses and shit, we fucking we departed you guys, man. We fucking cut you guys off, because even before the Moses hit this shit from Moses, and I'm gonna be honest, this guy, he know who he is. This guy is he don't like to really follow instructions and shit. He can't take reproof. So now he's trying to get men to follow Moses, like Moses is a part of the new covenant. That law of Moses ain't got shit to do with the new covenant. So guys are rebellious. So the spirit that guys are in, to be honest, the spirit that you're in the same spirit how those scribes and those Pharisees was in. All you guys hold to Moses. You're in the same spirit when they told the Lord that they was Moses' disciples. That's the spirit you guys are in. You see? Yeah, it's heavy, bro. Let me read this again. They did not believe in this blind man and him healing the blind man. After he healed the blind man, these Pharisees, they hated that. They was real upset about that, and they hated the Lord was healing on the Sabbath day, and they told the Lord flat out that they were Moses' disciples. So you guys are in the same spirit. You can't fake this anymore. If you don't have the same heart of the Lord or the same mind, it's going to show by you holding to Moses. A lot of you guys are very deceitful. You cannot hold Moses and say that you're following the Lord. That's backwards. That old law we established in the new law. Guys don't never read in Romans 3. Matter of fact, when it tells you in Romans 3 that we established the law, what is the contents in the earlier that whole chapter before you get to Romans 3 and 30? Guys have no understanding. Just let me say this. If you're teaching Moses, man, and the Lord freed us from that old law 2,000 years ago, and you're still teaching Moses, you don't have a spiritual understanding. Now, this is Romans 33. Now, Romans 3 and 31, it says, do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yea, we establish the law. Now, what was the contents in this chapter? Because guys think that they're actually fulfilling the law themselves. Guys actually think that they're fulfilling the old law. You're not fulfilling that law. The Lord did that already. None of our forefathers fulfilled that law. So you think you're fulfilling it? You got reprobates, man. Guys that are holding to Moses, they're carnal, and they're putting an act on. It's an act. Everybody holding to Moses, they're in a carnal mind, because that's why you don't understand when you hold to Moses, right? And we have to make men understand this, because this is a really a major stumbling block for guys trying to keep men in the flesh. When you say you're keeping Moses, you're not in the spirit of Yahushua. That's what's been set up in these camps. Men set up to teach, to tell you to keep the law to your best ability, and certain guys trying to teach you that in the new covenant. Then what's the purpose of teaching the new covenant if you're teaching men to hold to Moses? Because you guys like to be seen in garments, and you're carnal. So the trick what the Lord did is, this new covenant is not to guys that's going to hold to Moses. This is part of how you see guys or who they are. The old covenant was based off of carnal commandments. Now, let's read the contents in Romans 3. Guys don't have a contents because they're not of the spirit. So they skip to Romans 3 and 31. Like, do we make void the law? What is the Lord what is Paul talking about? So you guys have no understanding. Like what the brother said, which I do agree also, is that these were letters and chapters that was read all at once. So you really don't have an understanding. See, we have an understanding. So we can bounce around because our contents is based on the new covenant. It ain't based off the old. We're not trying to prove to you to keep the old. Guys' whole fucking doctrine, certain guys in this whole new covenant, right? Certain guys in the new covenant, their whole doctrine is to get you to keep the old law. That is backwards. So what type of person are you trying to get men to do that? You're in a very evil, deceptive spirit. And you think nobody really see you guys. You see what I'm saying? We see you guys. We see through you guys. That's why we're urging men that you are not justified by that old law at all. So you're not keeping that law. You're not fulfilling that old law. The law that needs to be fulfilled is the new covenant. The law was fulfilled when the Lord came. I read it. He read it, and the Lord said, this day this is fulfilled. Because the Lord came to bring liberty to the captives. He was speaking about that old law that men were fucking being subject to. It's not nothing carnal, like camps and groups that tell you that you being free from slavery. No, you're being free from that old law that all these guys in these old covenant garments are keeping you in. They're of the old. They don't understand by you wearing old covenant garments, you come in that old covenant vibration. So that's why guys are not spiritual. They're carnal. They think carnally they can tell you to keep the old law and they're under the Lord. No, it don't work like that. When the temple rent in two in an earthquake, that was it for that old covenant. That old covenant ended it at the cross. A lot of you guys can't get that through your fucking thick skull because you can't be corrected because you're really not of the Lord at all. And we know you guys, man. You guys are in that spirit of Cain. Now you guys got a chance to repent, but you're not going to repent. This is Romans. This is the contents of what Romans 3 and 31 is talking about. This is Romans 3 and 20. It says, therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. Now, this is Romans 3. They don't never read this. It says, for by the law is the knowledge of sin. The old law, bro. It's the knowledge of the good and evil. The law not just shows you what is evil, but it shows you how to do the evil. It like points out everything. The Lord don't do that in the new covenant, bro. It tells you to love your enemies, and this is something that is based on faith. That is something that's in you. If you really don't have the love, then you ain't gonna teach the right shit. You saying you having love out of your mouth don't mean nothing if you're teaching false doctrine. That don't mean a goddamn thing. See, guys are actors. So by you understanding the new covenant, and I'm very grateful for you few brothers that really get it. Once you really get it, can't nobody pull you back to Moses. So that's what these guys are set up to do, to fight for this world, to pull you back to Moses like they reprobate ass. Romans 3 and 20. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin. But the righteousness of God without the law is manifested. But the righteousness of God without the law is manifested. All right. This is came already. Being witnessed by the law and the prophets. So without the law, there's righteousness in Yahweh Shai. That's all you need to understand. It says, even the righteousness of God, which is by faith. This is a cut to that old law completely. Even the righteousness of God, which is by the faith of the anointed, unto all upon all them that believe. So if you holding to Moses, that means you don't believe in the new law. That's all that means. You can't have two masters. You either believe in Moses or the Lord. You cannot dance in the middle. You either got to be hot or cold. All you guys are in the middle and don't have no fucking understanding. That's why we know you guys in these camps don't understand it. Gentiles, you don't understand that there's a hell. That's why you're wicked as hell, because you don't understand that it's a place that you're going to be tormented after death. You don't understand that. Of course, you elders, you're stuck in your old ways, and you got plenty of your men following you, which you're going to have the blood. All their blood is on you elders' hands. And that's why we've been set up to pull a few out, which is actually working. Because we're not worried about the multitude. There's only a few. The 144,000 is less than 3% of the world. And then you're going to have the 1/3 the believers. So it's only a few. So we ain't supposed to get all the views and everybody. You reprobates of the world. So that's who's following you guys. Reprobates like you that don't really understand. That's who's following guys like you that's holding you to Moses. All you guys hold to Moses, you're just like them. That law of Moses is not a spiritual law. It was a carnal commandment. That's what you guys don't understand, man. You're not fulfilling the law. The Lord did that. You're not the Lord. The fuck? You're supposed to hold the Lord law and establish the new law. Romans 3. So you're not fulfilling shit, but the many false prophets that's out there. Now it says, even the righteousness of God, which is by faith in the anointing unto all upon all them that believe, there is in no difference. So this is about all them that believe at this time. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Yahushua Mashiach. That's right. You see? That's crazy. Romans 3:28 says, therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. Without the deeds of the law. So you need to understand and believe. Now let's go to this real quick. All you need to believe in is the Lord, not Moses. You don't need Moses for nothing. Moses did his part, and that was great. He parted the Red Sea and got them out of Egypt. That was his mission. That was it. Now this is a whole nother thing now. And a lot of you can't understand this because you're of Moses. You're of the flesh. That law is of the flesh. Because a lot of you guys are not righteous. You need somebody to tell you this and tell you that. Don't date somebody else's woman. Don't commit adultery. You need somebody to tell you don't commit adultery. You don't know that it's not right. Just like you don't know it's not right to hold Moses and the Lord died to redeem us from the old law. You don't understand that because you're fucking carnal. Just because you could do something, just because you could attempt to do something carnally, that don't make it fucking right. So our forefathers never was able to hold that old law at all. And it's an agenda to keep all you motherfuckers in that old law. Because none of you guys are spiritual with them old covenant garments. Those old covenant garments come with that old covenant vibration. That's what it means in Hebrews. He took away the first where he may establish the second. In the second covenant, there is no high priest. The only high priest is the Lord. You goddamn clowns. And you have the elect. So everybody's sacrifice is not being accepted, especially guys holding to Moses. Now this is John 9:16. Therefore some of the Pharisees, it says, this man is not of God because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. And others said, how can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them, just like right now. A lot of you guys are in that hateful spirit. Don't heal on the Sabbath. We got to keep the old law. You're in that spirit. That's not spiritual. You guys are in this spirit in this chapter, John 9:17. And they say unto the blind man again, this is after he did that healing. I love reading this because you guys are in the spirit of these guys that were holding people to Moses in this chapter, telling men to keep the Sabbath. And the Lord trying to explain to your ass, he is the Lord of the Sabbath. Salakia. John 9:17. And they fucking throat dry. And they say unto the blind man again, what sayest thou of him that he have opened thine eyes? He said, he is a prophet. But the Jews did not believe concerning him. But the Jews did not believe concerning him. But the Jews did not believe concerning him. Our own people don't believe. They believe in Moses over the Lord. So if you're holding to Moses, you're not under the Lord. Because none of you guys are teaching the new covenant. This one reprobate I seen the other day, and I just asked the guy. All I did, I asked him. I said, "Hey, are we under the old covenant?" He fucking blocked me off his fucking live stream. You guys hate this new covenant because you guys are wicked at heart and you're evil. So you don't have a heart. So you can't understand having mercy on certain Gentiles. You can't believe on Yahushua. Check it out. John 9:18, but the Jews did not believe concerning him. So the Jews are people, they don't believe in the new covenant. They want to keep the old covenant because they like being seen in garments. All you guys holding to Moses, man, you're reprobates in this last day. And you're causing confusion for yourself. Because you make the death of the Lord none effect unto yourself and your followers that don't have a fucking right mind. But the Jews did not believe concerning him that he had been blind and received his sight until they called his parents of him that he had received sight. So the Jews, they didn't believe this, man. They didn't believe anything, man. They didn't believe anything concerning the Lord. They didn't believe the Lord at all. This is the spirit that they were in. John 9:19, they asked him, saying, Is this your son who ye say was born blind? How then doeth he now see? His parents answered them and said, We know not this is our son, and that he was born blind. He says, we know that this is our son, and that he was born blind, but by what means now he seeth, we know not. Or who have opened his eyes, we know not. He is of age. Ask him. He shall speak for himself. These words his parents spake because they feared the Jews, for the Jews agreed already if any man did confess. Now that word confess means to agree. It don't just mean saying the Lord's name before every video. It means you really have to agree with his covenant. So if anyone actually agreed with the Lord, they was going to kick them out the synagogue, just like how they got guys scared of being kicked out of these false prophet camps. These camps are gangs. They're like hate clubs. Everybody's going into slavery. No mercy, because they don't have the Lord in them. They don't have the heart and the mind of God. They have the mind of elders and false prophets and fucking wolves in sheep's clothing, teaching shit of the world. All their doctrine is of the world and motherfuckers of the world, man. It's all about motherfuckers of the world. Joe Biden and the fucking shit that's happening in the world. Guys are literally fucking newscasters. And when you go into newscasters, that goes into casting a spell. So we don't teach you the news over here. Are you fucking reprobates, man? So they were scared. He says, for the Jews had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was the anointed, he should be put out of the synagogue. Right. Fuck that synagogue shit. And the Lord said in Matthew 7 that the broad gates and the broad path, you can't be in a broad path. So guys are going off with that, with no understanding. This is a small path, this new covenant. It says, therefore said his parents, he is of age, ask him. And they called the man. See, they're in the spirit of kicking you out the camp. That's what spirit these guys are in this chapter. So you guys that's in the spirit of Moses, you're in a very hateful spirit right now. You're in a hateful spirit. Carnal as hell. We'll kick you out. You can kick men out your camp, but you can't kick men out of the Lord. The Lord said you can't pluck men out of his hand, but you could kick men out your camp though. Clowns, bro. All you guys are clowns and carnal. And you're blind in these days. The Lord blinded you motherfuckers. For real. Then again called the man, because those camps are evil. Then again called they the man that was blind and said unto him, give God the praise. We know that this man is a sinner. Whew. So they call the Lord a sinner. Just like you guys hate us. You see? Certain of you guys we used to be around, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. That guy, Reveal Not the Gods, that guy, his channel, we had to depart that guy because that guy's he's carnal. He can't take correction. And now look at him. He's teaching Moses now. Now he's totally going off. He's in the spirit of these Pharisees, just like these camps. That's the thing. All these camps are teaching Moses. Everybody's teaching Moses. Only a few of us is teaching you that you don't have to follow Moses no more. Guys are all these guys that are in that hateful spirit, they're all teaching Moses. Teaching false doctrine. Righteousness without that law has been manifested through the Lord. You don't need that law for nothing. When the Lord came, he closed the book on that old law. So a lot of guys they can't take correction. That's why we get away from a lot of these guys. And when we first started teaching the new covenant with these guys, as time progressed, we started to see certain shit wasn't right. And then certain things started to happen. We started to see guys are carnal. So now look at guys, they're teaching Moses just like camps. You have to get away from guys teaching very deceitful, man. That's what we did. If you can't understand this ain't about Moses and you're in the spirit of these guys in John 9, we can't help you. So yes, we have to get the fuck away from you. That's no love. You don't have love holding men to Moses, man. That's not love. You're holding men to condemnation. The tree of good and evil. And you guys are all about the tree of good and evil. That shit crazy, bro. And he answered and said, whether he be a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see. So the new covenant is making men see. By holding men under Moses, you can't see a goddamn thing. Then they said unto him again, what did he to thee, how open he thine eyes? And he answered, I told you already, and you did not hear. Wherefore, see, these guys didn't believe the Lord did nothing, man. That's what we're dealing with, man. We're dealing with guys that don't believe in the Lord. That's holding to Moses, bro. They do not believe in the Lord. They're not spiritual. They're carnal. Wherefore, will ye hear it again? Will ye also be his disciples? And they reviled him. They reviled him. And said, thou art his disciples, but we are Moses' disciples. So we're surrounded by guys that are Moses' disciples. If you're holding to Moses, you're Moses' disciples. Therefore, you make the death for the Lord in vain. That's what you do. Galatians 2:21. I do not frustrate the grace of God. That's what guys are doing. They're frustrating the grace. They're telling you to keep Moses. Don't worry about the Lord law. You can keep the Moses law and the Lord. No, the Yahweh Shai is 3 times more righteous than that old law. I do not frustrate the grace, for the righteousness come by the law, then the anointed is dead in vain. You see that? So the righteousness don't come by that law at all. So if you're teaching men the old law, you're not in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. You're not. You're in an evil, hateful, deceitful, unbelieving spirit. And it's only a matter of time for the Lord judge you as well. You're being judged because this word by us teaching it correctly is judging men. And we stay away from you guys teaching Moses because you're in this spirit these guys are in this chapter. Galatians 5:4, the anointed, Yahweh Shai, has become of no effect unto you. Whosoever you are justified by the law, ye are falling from grace. So a lot of you guys, you're not in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. You guys in these camps and all you guys is teaching in the new covenant that's holding to Moses. You're not in the right spirit. You're in a very hateful, envious, proud, unbelieving spirit with no faith. That's what Moses does for you. And you guys are in competition with us. We're not in competition with you guys. We don't care about what you guys are doing. You're teaching false doctrine, and the Lord set us up to free men while you're trying to hold men to bondage. So let me read this and let me get out of here. So we're surrounded by false prophets and Moses' disciples in this time, man. Guys that are holding to Moses. We're surrounded by a lot of you guys. It is crazy, man. 2 Peter 2:2, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by the reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So the new covenant is being evil spoken of. And you guys that are holding to Moses, a lot of people are following you. That's how it's supposed to be. A lot of guys are following death and martial law and death and slavery. That's what vibration you guys are putting out there. We're not putting that vibration out there. We're putting repentance and love and forgiveness and the new covenant, which is full of repentance and love and faith. You cannot subject us spiritual beings to a carnal law. We've been free from that carnal law. Otherwise, you guys are tied to that law because you're of death. You're of condemnation. Repent to the new covenant. Separate from all these guys holding you to Moses. And with that, shalom.